paid $40,000 for a brand new camper. It's a piece of crap.
What went wrong for Nikki? Find out next. Hi, I'm Liz. What you're watching on this channel is Social Media in Action. It's using social media for good. It's through the power of this platform that I've been able to help owners of defective new RVs stuck in a nightmare. In less than a year, I've been able to get 11 buybacks, numerous cash settlements, and factory repairs. This is all thanks to you for liking, subscribing, and sharing, making this channel the force that it is. Now is probably a good time to remind you that this is not the place for victim blaming. If you're brand new to RVing and you're buying a brand new RV, I think it's pretty reasonable to expect that everything's going to work and that everything's going to be pretty much perfect. Now, if you're feeling outraged watching these videos, your outrage belongs at the manufacturers. They're the ones who are putting out brand new RVs with so many problems. So today we're going to hear from Nikki, who talks about her RV, and I will have the manufacturers and the dealer's response later in the video.
I live in Taylor, South Carolina with my little boy. He lives with me part-time. I purchased a 2024 Heartland Prowler September 24th at Optimum RV located in Spartanburg County, South Carolina. I decided to get an RV because I wanted to get out of the relationship I was in, and a lot of people said RVs are a lot cheaper than houses or apartments right now, and it was. So me and my son went and looked at campers. This is the first time I ever had experienced this, so I didn't know what I was looking for. I was excited. Went to Optimum RV, and they showed me different RVs, and they showed me a 2024 model, me not knowing, brand new. You know, everything should be fine with it. So I got it, and I got an expensive one at $40,000, and I love the RV because it had plenty of room for me and him. I wanted to feel like home and not crammed, so I picked the camper I got because it had plenty of privacy for me and him. I had it delivered to my campsite. Everything was going good. I purchased it in September, and in October is when the first big rain happened, and I come out of my bedroom and saw water on the floor. Wasn't real happy to see that water there, and I look up and it was coming out of the roof of the slide out, and it was a lot of water coming out. So I'm like, that shouldn't be doing that. I've only had it a month. I called them and they come out and put what they call a topper on the slide out, and they said that should solve everything. I thought that worked there for a while. It took a while for it to have a heavy rain again. When it rained heavy again, it come out in the exact same spot. I called them again and they said, well, they would get a hold of the manufacturer, see what the next step would be. About a month later, they had come out again, and that's when they went off on what Heartland had suggested them to do. They come out and took the inside of the slide out, the roof off, and put a metal beam in across the slide out, and said that should fix it, and that did not. It still keeps raining and coming out in the same spot.
I always worry about drinking RV water because I don't want to get sick. And I can tell you that most RVers are the same way. They don't drink their RV water. Actually, over 1 million Americans get sick every year from drinking tap water. And I bet that number's even higher for RVers. The gold standard in water filtration is reverse osmosis. That's what you see in those water vending machines. During reverse osmosis, pretty much anything that's not an H2O molecule gets filtered out, leaving you with the purest water possible. Now you can get that in a countertop version for your home or RV. I've been using Cove Pure and it's awesome. It removes up to 99.9% of impurities such as arsenic, lead, forever chemicals, and more. Plus, it adds beneficial minerals back into your water like magnesium and calcium. So it's healthy and tastes great. I love the convenience of the pitcher, and you can dispense hot or cold water at the touch of a button. Perfect for your coffee or hot cocoa. You never have to wait for water to boil again, and you never have to buy bottled water again. Cove Pure is installation free, no plumbing, no drilling. You can save $200 on Cove Pure. Just go to covepure.com/LizAmazing.
When I called Heartland, I explained my issue, and they paid Optimum RV to fix the slide out, and they only paid Optimum RV once. And I said, well, the slide out isn't fixed. The work order is still open. And they said, well, there's nothing else we can do. We only pay them once. Then I called Optimum RV. Then they had to come out a third time and replace the slide out wood and all that. They keep telling me it's sagging, but haven't really fixed that solution of it sagging. It took another heavy rain for me to realize it still wasn't fixed correctly. And then they come out and again and looked at it and said that they've done what they can. There's nothing they can do. They just left it at that. And then I keep calling and calling, and I'm getting frustrated because they don't want to help me, even though it's still under warranty. Now it's like they're either ignoring my phone calls or don't. It's back and forth from, we're waiting on this phone call, waiting on that phone call, and nobody's really giving me an answer. So I finally say, can I please speak to a manager? And it's like, well, what manager of what department? And it's just like, nobody wants to help me. I'm having to put buckets and stuff in here. I have a piece of wood right now holding up the top of the slide out. So now I have a tarp on top to prevent any more damage, because I'm pretty sure the roof of the slide out has damage to it. There is mold. I took pictures of when they first came out of the roof, and there was already mold on the roof. So I feel like this was a previous damage done to the camper for it to already have that. 8 months later, I'm sure there's probably a lot of damage in the roof, and I've told them that it's just causing more damage, and the longer they take to get this fixed, the more damage it's causing. It's like they don't care. I've called them several times on the phone and said, look, I paid $40,000 for a brand new camper. It's a piece of crap. Something's constantly breaking. It's just falling apart. Optimum RV says they're waiting on Heartland to get back in touch on what they're going to do next. They said they're waiting for an email. I said, well, you guys can't call? And they said, no, we have to wait for them to email us back. I've been waiting for about a month for them to come back out with a solution. Of being a first-time buyer, not knowing what to do or what to look for, I feel like they took advantage. I feel like people should really watch your videos, and before they purchase something, realize what they're getting themselves into. I would not get a 2024 model because they come down the assembly line too fast, and they don't care how they're built nowadays. They're built too fast. A lot of the little things that I realize now, like even little screws loose on the outside, I'm like, just little things like that, it's just like they don't take their time to do anything now. It's definitely been a headache having to call Optimum RV, try to get them to come out here and say that they can, that it's just nonstop. It shouldn't be like this. I have to worry about if my roof is going to cave in on me, having to spend a lot of money on tarps and stuff to keep the rain from coming in, and it's just been frustrating. I thought I was moving into something nice, and then it's not. It's turned into a nightmare. I feel like if they fix the slide out, they might not do it correctly, because I feel like maybe it's a structural damage to begin with, because it's brand new and it started out this way. Either want a new camper completely, or I want my money back, not ruin my credit, because if I turn this in, my credit will be gone, and I don't want that to happen, because then I still need a home.
My secret weapon is that I have some pretty pricey software that gives me the email addresses of company presidents. This is how I've been able to do what I do, because when I contact the companies, I go right to the top. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but I don't charge for my services. And honestly, a lot of people have put their life savings in their RVs, so they couldn't afford to contribute anyway. If you feel like contributing and you want to be part of this cause, part of my mission to wake up the RV industry, you can go to my PayPal and make a contribution, or you can join the Patreon community, or you can do both. Thank you so much for supporting the cause and joining me on my mission. Optimum RV has 11 locations on the East Coast and in the Midwest. I contacted the owner of Optimum RV. I sent him a detailed email, and I heard nothing back. I also reached out to Heartland. Heartland, as you know, is owned by Thor and has been through a restructuring and is now part of Jayco. I sent to the top executive team and also have not heard back. So this is actually not unusual. It often takes the power of the video to amp up the pressure on the powers that be so that they'll do the right thing. This is where you come in. This is a team effort. So please like, subscribe, and share. Make this video go viral, and I will come back with an update. What do you think Heartland should do for Nikki? Let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.